Is Sunday morning with Blaizeman. How's everybody doing this Sunday morning? Jumped on air, but I decided to come on and just talk about the area. What's going on, Fall River, what's going on, New Bedford, Rhode Island. Behind me is the shows that we have up, and this is why I play. The show is starting soon because if you just jump on live, and people ain't gonna move around. So that's what we're gonna do for a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Sunday. Everybody's just chilling. Maybe just crawling out of bed, or you've been out of bed for at least I don't know, hour, whatever, having your coffee. Of course, I have mine, and no, I didn't just stuff's falling. And no, I just didn't crawl out of bed. I was sitting here. I was like, I gotta be honest with you. I was like, kind of like bored a little bit. You know what I mean? And I was, I just because I used to do a show on the FFN network on Sundays with the I-12 guys, and their show was getting popular. So I put their show on prime time on Wednesday nights at from 8 to 9. It's a good show, and the funny thing about it is, most people, just think it's a couple of guys just talking and spewing and whatever. These guys are actual professionals. I-12 GIA. They have a show, I-12 GIA, Real Talk with real people. And these guys are professionals. I mean, law enforcement over 30 years. Jesus. One of these other guys are just like, up in the entourage like the FBI and shit like that. So, if you want facts, you want to see what's going on, training. This is what these guys do: tactical training. It's like it's insane. You know what I mean? And before I continue, I'm gonna play an ad real quick. Okay. And yeah, I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People. This show was on Wednesday night here on the FFN network from 8 to 9 p.m. This is their little ad that they threw up. So check it out, and I'll be right back.
You'll get always the best of me, 'cause I love you endlessly. Girl, I feel so damn right when you're here by my side. I will always be there for you. Oh girl, I need you, that's so true. Hope you feel the same way, 'cause I want you to stay.
Yeah, so that's that's an advertisement from the I-12. Again, I-12 GIA Real Talk with Real People right here on the FFN network Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. So like I said before, we get a lot going on the network. You know what I mean? And this is a pretty song. Makes me wanna cry. Too much anger and too much hate, too much money and too many lies. If we just do just one thing right, we could help each other. But life I'm dreaming of. Yeah, very pretty song. Very pretty song. So you're doing Sunday mornings with Blaizeman, and I'd like to thank the people that tuned in right now to the show. Jeff B, something going on with your mic. Sounds like you are talking through a coffee can. I mean, I don't hear the no coffee can or anything like that. It could be the way it's going through the system, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't hear it. So, but thank you for that. So Sunday mornings with Blaizeman. I figure here is a live shot of Narragansett Bay. I thought I'd let everybody take a peek at that. Besides, this handsome mug. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a live shot of Narragansett Bay. I was gonna put the New Bedford one up, but when I clicked on it to check it out, all you can see is a mast from a boat, and I'm like, yeah, that's not. So, and I wanted to give the morning viewers something pretty to look at, and in real time, live. So if there's a massive explosion or something, or a Russian submarine pops out in the water, we'll see that. But yeah, look. So like I said, it sounds good now. Thanks, pal. Thanks, pal. Stick around. You know what I mean? I like your feedback. So again, Sunday mornings with Blaizeman. I was just sitting on my couch. Well, not my couch. The man chair. And I only say the man chair because my wife is not home and my sister's in the room. Because if I was to say something like that with them around, oh my God. I live with 2 women, man. Actually, I live with 3 women. My husky, my beautiful girl, she's a girl, you know? And of course, my beautiful wife, Miss Tammy, and my sister. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, you know. So I was sitting on the man chair, and the point was is I could say that because I could sit, they're not around. And I was like, you know what? I missed doing a Sunday show because I used to do the I-12 on Sunday. I missed it. But again, like I said, their show got super popular, so I had no choice but to put them in prime time. And that's part of the work. This is something that FFN network has lost track of a little bit. We don't. FFN network doesn't make a dime. And you know what's crazy is like the other shows that used to be with FFN network, and then they left us, to go do their own thing, and which is fine. I was pissed off about it at first. And I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. I mean, it's tough when you meet new people and then you're like, these are good people, and you let them in. And, they got the same ideas that you do, right? And, you give them a show and you give them a chance and all that stuff like that. Anyways, I'm not today. And they just go and do their own thing. Anyways, they don't make nothing. And I've been in talks with a gentleman that used to do a show on here called Nutricorn. It's not the other gentleman, it's another gentleman. Because FFN Network owns the rights to Nutricorn. Even though it's a tough sell because there's quite a few Nutricorns out there. So, hey, good morning, Doc. Well, it's are we morning? Because I'm morning here. Are you morning or night? I think you're night. I think you're at night. This would be the best time to talk to Catherine. I hope I'm saying that right, your first name. But yeah. So again, FFN, we don't make a dime. I would like to just make something. Okay. We got a caller, I believe. Hey, call up. You're on the air with Sunday Mornings with Blaizeman. Good morning. Hey, how are you, sir? How are you? Okay, all right. Got a caller from the Big H. What's going on? Oh. All right, the most memorable experience in broadcast. All right, hey, thanks for that question, man, and I'll answer it for you. Okay. All right, thanks for the call. So, all right, the most memorable. Whoa, whoa. I forgot that I had Bluetooth the music on. Huh? Holy shit. Oh man. That hurt. That hurt bad. All right, let me get back. All right. So most memorable 6 p.m. Huh? Cool. Most memorable media experience. Jesus. I don't. The day I had said to my wife, it was cold. I mean, I always did FFN network. Okay. It was called different names back in the day. It was called, the first three initials was always FFN. Okay. So back in the day, it was FFN Metal Network, like in the late 90s, like 96, 97, 98. But how long I've been doing it? But it was radio back then. And, it was a tough gig. Nowadays, you can just go and, type it in, and there's, thousands of these companies, especially for radio and all that stuff like that. But, but, so I was doing all of that, and I was doing it, by myself. You know what I mean? I would do it for like 5 months, chill with it for a little while. Then I'd do it for like another 3, 4 months, then chill with it. It wasn't constant like FFN Network is now. And there's one person, I'm serious. If you love, what FFN Network does, what we're about, and all that stuff like that, we love you. We love you all that. But there's one person who's really gotta, thank is Miss Tammy. Okay. Yeah, she gets all the props. She's the owner of the company, all that stuff like that. That's because I'm like, you're the owner. Okay. I don't want to be you. I'm the CFO. Right? I take care of the finances and because it all comes out of my pocket. So I have the title of CFO. She is she's the CEO. But anyways, so I says to her one day, we're laying in bed and we're talking in COVID stuff and all that stuff like that. She's talking about what they're trying to implement at work because she works for that's in trouble right now. We'll talk about that. And she, I'm sitting there, and I was doing the radio, you know what I mean, a little bit, right? Okay. All right. I sound far away. All right. So Catherine is saying the same thing too. Let me get rid of that. Okay. And see if that has anything. Or it could be another. I don't want to sound like I'm far away. I sound beautiful to me. I mean, my voice is deep, proper things going on, but I can't, for the life of me, figure it out. Let me play with that. All right, and let me do this to see if this has any of that too. But I want to read what Catherine has to say. Okay, I hate to say that again, but first, you sound like from far away. Thank you. Like your mic ain't working. Second. Oh, all right. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Sorry, everybody, but it's always good to hear from the audience of what's going on. So, let's do that. Okay, that's done. That could be the reason too. So, okay, how do I sound now? Wow, this is like fucking deja vu. Holy shit. Never mind. I'm telling you, holy shit. I can't work in second. I can't hear the caller at all. I don't know if it's fine. Are we getting technical difficulties without our CEO of technical? It sounds like if the mic on your camera is catching. Yes, yes. You're absolutely right. I hope it went away. So if let me know. But yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and you're right. I went into settings, and the system wasn't picking up my voice and stuff like that. So I hope I sound better. So with that being said, right? So I live in Massachusetts. Huge. Hope still the same. All right, let me do this. I'll be right back. Stay here. Okay, I'm back. I'm not going to see none of that. Let me go over here. Okay. All right. Everything's picked up. All right. Okay. I hope I sound better. That's all I can say. I'm going to keep going back and forth and going nuts. I muted my camera's microphone, so you shouldn't be hearing me out of there. It's muted. Yes, better. Thank you, Doc Wolf, very much for helping me fix that technicality. And I'll make sure that I check that too every time I go to do a show, just to double check, make sure it's up and running. Because I had to do a lot of work so my camera could not only just focus on me but behind me. And yeah, I did. I fixed it. I'm pretty computer savvy, which I believe I know you are, which is cool. That's why we collaborate well together. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah. Oh, so the camera, because they're super fucking expensive. So the camera has AI technology, right? So I didn't want to fuck with AI. I didn't know what it was going to do. And, I already put the old cameras away. And this new camera here was working fine, just the way it was, But I was getting a little agitated because stuff behind me wasn't, coming through as well. So anyway, so I was like, screw it. I put AI on, and this is the results. I'm pretty sure you can see me clear and everything behind me clear because I can. Much better. Thanks, B. All right. So, hey, back to everything here. All right, let's get to the point to where so like I was saying with the best media moment, like the caller from New Hampshire asked, is when I said to my wife, I says to her, I says, babe, we're just laying in bed. It was like about 8:30 at night or whatever. And we were watching TV, and I just got done fooling around with computer stuff or whatever, in bed watching a little TV, and I says to her, just out of the blue, you know what I mean? And I'm honest. In my mind, I was like, the answer was going to be no, you know what I mean? So I says to her, I says, babe, I said, you want to do a radio show with me? And she just turns and she looks at me and she goes, yeah, babe, that sounds like it'll be fun. And right there was one of the best, moments for, FFN and all that stuff like that. And I'll include this with it, but if it was to be like a second best moment, it was when her and I were doing 2-hour shows from Monday through Friday. Okay, 2-hour shows from Monday through Friday. And if you stick around and you're enjoying the show and the bullshitting and the talking that we're doing right now, I'll play some clips from those old radio shows. You know what I mean? That should be fun as shit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna take a little break. It's not gonna be a break like normal. You're probably still gonna see me in camera, or I'll probably shut my camera off or whatever. But the show will definitely entertain you, and some music, and till I'm done. I'm gonna have a cigarette during the break. Wink, wink. So yeah, that's the deal with that. Oh shit. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, enjoy, everybody. Let's do that again. Here we go.
I sneak in my own house.
I know you can hear that.
It's 4 a.m. I've got too much to drink. Said I was out.
Nothing better to wake your ass up in the morning, boy. I'll fucking tell you that. And the coffee. Gotta have the fucking coffee, baby. You're watching Sunday Mornings with Blaizeman, baby. Hey, look, if you want to call in 508-974-4231. Again, that number is 508-974-4231.
Will she find out about the other lover?
All right. Thanks for sticking around for more of Sunday Morning with the Blaizeman. But yeah. Just chilling, man. Just chilling. Y'all want to see a picture of a live shot of Narragansett Beach? Huh? What do you think? Let's take a look. Live shot. Narragansett. That's pretty cool. I had that up earlier. I was talking about it. But what I really, came on for too is, is to have a discussion with everybody on how everybody feels about like the housing crisis, man. And I was like, I was watching the news. I'm not really I'm not a big news person. I am not. I'll watch the local news once in a while. Maybe I'll watch like the international news or whatever. But my thing is like the CBS evening news, whatever, stuff like that. But I am from Massachusetts, so Um, the housing is completely insane, and it's just insane in Rhode Island. Um, right now, people are working just to keep a roof over their head. All right, so think of society like that, right? So you got the common folk like myself, yourself, whatever, and go to work to make a living. And now, because of this housing shit is so fucking, excuse my French, but it's so crazy, right? That people just going to work. They have no life, right? They have no life. Like if they have kids, they gotta like struggle, okay, like to do a like a fucking birthday party for their child, a couple of gifts, maybe putting food on a table. You know why? Because like fucking 65% or whatever of the rent of your income, if not more, not if not more, goes towards your rent, right? I mean, that's the way I see it down here. That's the way it is. Okay. And again, people are going to work. Some people have two fucking jobs. Some people have three jobs. The third job is probably to put food on the table and have that little extra money so you can give your goddamn kid a fucking birthday party, you know? Because there's no more like Chuck E. Cheese's and shit. Well, there is, okay. But you know what I mean. It's like a Dave and Buster's. Oh my God. To bring your kid to Dave and Buster's, better have like fucking $400 in your pocket, because nobody has that now. You know what I mean? Nobody has that now. Okay. They want 2 bedroom, right? If you're from a city like us here in Fall River, that's where FFN Network is in Fall River, Massachusetts, and you 2 bedroom. Before it used to matter. Like third floor was always the cheapest because it's the third floor. Second floor would be like the medium rent. First floor would always be the highest rent because it's the first floor. That none of that shit matters now. Like all three tenements are all the same rent. You're paying $1,800 for a third floor. 2 bedroom, $1,800. Right? It's nuts. And some of them, when you go to look up in an apartment, and some of them are like, oh, they want you to make like fucking 3 times more than what you're in of what their rent is. So if their rent is $1,800, well, let's go with an even number because it's early and my fucking math ain't gonna go crazy. So say 1,500, right? A month, every floor, right? That's $4,500 a month. Okay. All right. $4,500 a month. And if they had a mortgage on the building, right? What's the mortgage? Less than 2,000, depending on their credit. So we're going to say it's under $2,000 a month. And that's not saying if they don't own the house outright. So let's say they own a house outright. That's $4,500 income a month. A month. Okay. So let's do this. Because this shit pisses me off, man. All right, let's do this. Come on, Blaze, get your shit together. Yeah, there it is. Right? So, boom, 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 boom. Right? You know how much? It's $54,000 a year. Okay. $54,000 a year they make in rent, right? So if you own the house outright, $54,000 a year. 80% of people that live here in this city don't make $54,000 a year. Okay. It's just nuts, man. It is. It is. It's nuts. You know. And then, I don't know. Let's say Nicholas says, how you doing on Box Thoughts? Nice to see you. Give or take only 25 to 50 more or less. Oh, yeah, exactly. Landlords be averaging roughly around 2 to 3 grand a month profit. Yeah, that's easy. That's what I just brought up the numbers for, you know? And you think, okay, say you still own a mortgage on that house, man. You're fucking paying that off within 3 years. You know, unless you have major issues that happen to the house or whatever and stuff like that. And I gotta be honest with you, most motherfuckers, landlords, they don't put money away, all right, for something catastrophic to happen. You know, so it's just, it's I don't know, it's fucking nuts. You know, people are gonna be like homeless from this. Okay, homeless from this right now. And the state don't take into effect as far as like the EBT and food stamps and all that shit goes. Okay. They don't take into consideration the outrageous rent that you pay. They only still go by your income. Right. And that should either be lowered or raised. I don't know how the fuck it works, but it should be lowered or raised. I think it should be lowered. Okay. Because there's people that do make decent money that in like, I don't know, say like fucking 8 years ago, you could live in an apartment and you could give your kid that birthday party and you could maybe go to the fucking Cape or something or go camping for a weekend and stuff. Now, no. You're gonna have everybody in the family that can work has to work, and that's how you make it look good, because everybody's working, everybody's pitching in. So, I don't know, trips me out, and it's just there's the housing crisis in depth. So. It's a tough deal. So, again, we don't have like fucking local news or whatever, that talks about Massachusetts this close because our news comes from New Bedford. I mean, from Rhode Island, and it covers the area. But their crisis is pretty much like our fucking crisis here, anyways. So, but they're covering it. So, and I'm happy about that. So let's just take a little listen to this shit right here. So, there we go. Bring that right up here. Anyways, so they're going to investigate.
New England is facing one of its biggest challenges.
How long has it been this hard?
It's never been this hard.
Sky-high rents, shortage of homes, families caught in the middle of a housing crisis.
Like, how do you expect people to live?
12 News is committed to covering all angles of this major story, shining a light on the struggles.
Honestly, I'm just trying to survive.
Searching for solutions.
It's progressed from bad to worse to disaster.
Talking to those in charge.
When does that money start translating into units? Give me a date.
Target 12 Housing Crisis, in-depth coverage. Starting Monday on 12 News at 6 a.m. and 5 p.m.
All right. So, like I said, the same deal with them is the same deal that's happening down around over here. And another thing that tripped me out about all of this, Oh, sorry. Get rid of that. All right. So what also tripped me out about this, right, is like let me see here. Oh boy. I'm not gonna go through all of that while I'm talking to you folks. Um in Rhode Island, like again, I was reading on the internet or whatever, and I'm gonna find it when I jump to another break real quick. They're fucking building these fucking like one we'll say like a prison cell on wheels. You know the size of these buildings that they're making. And what's that for? Is that for the homeless now? Or they fucking anticipating that people ain't gonna be able to afford rent because landlords are going out of their minds with rent hikes. So they're bringing in these, you know what I mean? So they could what? Fucking sit there and go, well, look, we're doing the best we can, man. At least we're giving them a place to go, right? And then most people sit back and they go, well, you know, they do at least, you know, you would say something. At least they got a warm place to stay. At least they got a roof over their head. No, fuck that. At least bullshit. You know what I mean? Because again, everybody will sit there. You know, I'm good right now. I don't got to worry about that until it fucking happens. Okay, until it happens. Right? I never thought that I would live in a house that might potential fucking catch fire one day. And you know what? A fucking month or so ago, it did. Okay, I got fucking fire extinguishers all over my house. That's how fucked up I was by it. You know, and we did everything wrong to get out of the house. Okay, and we talked about it on the Miss Tammy and Blaizeman show, you know, and it was doing us being funny, so everybody might have thought it was funny, but nah, man, I was fucking dead set on it, and I actually sat down with family in the house and said, look, you know, when this happens, don't do this or don't do that. You know what I mean? None of that shit. So, yeah, you know what I mean. Don't never say never. You know, I just find it odd that they are, you know, building these fucking things. You know, so I don't know. I'm gonna take a little break. Again, I just paused the camera. I'm gonna be here. Hey, if you got a song you want me to play for break or whatever, just let me know, and I'll throw something on here. And hey, remind me, you know, to fucking lower this thing. I'm blowing my brains out again. Here's my girls. All right, cool. Let's get going. All right, man. I'll be right back, or I'll be sitting here, or whatever. Hey, give the show a call. 508-974-75. No, 508-974. 4231. What the fuck is 75 come? Hey, that number's gonna change down the road. So yeah, that number's gonna change. We just purchased a business phone line. Okay, because the Miss Tammy and Blaizeman show, their prize giveaways is gonna be starting pretty soon. So but yeah, I'll be right back, man. Shortly. Down. Yeah. Can't fight the fever.
Can't fight the fever. Can't fight the fever. I can't see her till I'm foaming at the mouth. See, there is neither big nor small. See, there is the center of it all. I try to rock her in my cradle. I try to knock her out. I try to cram her back in my mouth. Yeah. Can't fight the fever. Can't fight the fever. Can't fight the fever. I can't
whole show, and that's a natural fact. One all night with the decay. I got to tell ya, focus outside. Booze and ladies treat me right, as long as they can make it to the show tonight. We're an American band. We're an American band. We're coming to your town. We're up your party down. We're an American band. Ow! For your chiquitas in Omaha was waiting for the band to return from the show. Feeling good, feeling right, it's Saturday night. The hotel detective, he was out of sight. Now these fine ladies, they had a plan. They was out to meet the boys in the band. They said, come on dudes, let's get it on. And we proceeded to tell that hotel that we're an American band. Sing it with us, we're an American band. We're coming to your town, we'll have your party and now we're an American band. I can't hear you, you now. We're an American band. We're an American band. We're coming to your town, we'll have your party and now we're an American band. Ow! American band. Sing it! We're coming to your town. We'll have your party down. We're an American band. Ow!
go. That's a great song right there. Great song. Yeah, so thanks for sitting in with me Sunday mornings with Blaizeman. I think I'm gonna do this every Sunday morning. I don't care if it's like a half hour, 45 minutes, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how I'm feeling, right? That's what fucking member, there. I don't know. I guess people get tired of listening to you for a little while, I popped on for about a good fucking 15 minutes, man. There's tons of people listening. Now I got my faithful on Twitch. Say hi, man. I want to know who you are. Say hello. It's my Twitch follower. Although you haven't been on lately. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Anyway, so nothing going on here in the city of Fall River, but this is what I wanted to talk about, man. Yeah. This is what I wanted to talk about. Check this shit out. This is gonna be fun. Let me bring this up here. Boom, boom. What is this thing doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Look. All right. I don't. What's this doing? It's driving me nuts. Sorry, folks. Jesus. It was like he was retarded. Why is this going to? Oh, I know why. Duh. Sorry, everybody. Let's see. I decided I was gonna do it like the show like this. I'm not gonna throw up the ads and all that stuff like that. These people see that shit during the week, So when you're chilling with me, that's all it's gonna be like. Oh God, I gotta scroll. You fucking down here now. Where am I? Here we are. This is what I want to talk about right here. The Bridgewater Triangle. Right? This shit's fucked up, everybody. Memorial Tower in DW Field Park was built in, let's see here. All right. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring this shit up for you. All right. Check this out. Hold on. Yeah, let me do this. Hey, give me a minute. Here, I'm going to do this for you. All right. Because I like y'all. Here. Come on, man. Why is everything? There you go. All right. Oh shit. Fucking film. Fuck. Oh. Oh, yeah. We definitely got to do this, man. And you know what? I'm going to break it up into series for us. All right? I just found the Bridgewater Triangle documentary, right? And I'm going to split it up into segments that we're going to watch here on Sunday mornings with Blaizeman. So if you don't know anything about the Bridgewater Triangle, right? There's a lot of mental shit that happened there. You know what I mean? So share, man. Wake your friends up. Fucking everybody's sleeping on a what is it? Like 15 degrees out, man. The kids should be outside running and you know what I mean, breaking an arm or twisting an ankle or something. So look. We're going to watch some of this Bridgewater Triangle documentary, and you can sit here and watch it with me and learn something, or you can fucking leave. It doesn't matter. Sunday mornings with Blaizeman, we're going to be here. Okay? because quite frankly, I don't do much on Sunday. You know what I mean? I'm up with the wife, helping her straight. Oh shit! I gotta make the bed, and I gotta dig that laundry out from down the cellar. Oh, everybody will hear it on the Miss Tammy and Blaizeman show this upcoming Thursday. So, I don't want to get into that shit. Anyways, so yeah, this is what I originally wanted to talk to all of you about when I initially started the show this morning. You know what I mean? So again, right? Sunday mornings with Blaizeman, and we're going to watch a little bit of the documentary, The Bridgewater Triangle. Again, if none of you know about the Bridgewater Triangle, man, this shit's like in Massachusetts, right? It's like, you know, everybody's heard of the Bermuda Triangle, right? You know, boats, airplanes, everything. Oh, where the fuck did it go? Oh, shit like that. But like this shit, mad crazy. So don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you with it, you know. But we're gonna watch some. And like I said earlier, you don't want to watch it? Fucking leave. Sunday mornings with Blaizeman will be here, and we are covering the Bridgewater Triangle. So if you're interested, do some research. Maybe you can call into the show, 508-974-4231. Call in to the show. And if you know anything about the Bridgewater Triangle, man, let's fucking talk about it. You know, I'll pause the documentary. You can ask a question. I'll talk to you about it. 508-974-4231. That number's changing next week. Okay, so don't like save it in your phone or anything like that. That number's gonna change. FFN Network's got a business line coming in because I'm tired of playing all these games with all these phones. People will say, I hear the caller perfectly clear. But people say in the comment section that they can't hear the caller at all. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyways, all right. Again, there's a bunch of you joining right now. So again, we're going to watch the Bridgewater Triangle documentary. Okay. And for the next 3 weeks, the Sunday mornings with Blaizeman is going to cover it for a half hour or so. So if you don't know anything about the Bridgewater Triangle, man, go research it. This is shit that's happened in Massachusetts. You all heard of the Bermuda Triangle, boats, this, that, all leaving, whatever, never being found. This has to do with murder, bullshit, all kinds of stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. This is the Bridgewater Triangle. We're going to watch a tad, okay? And then if we want to talk about it a little bit, we can. You know what I mean? We could do that as well.
The Bridgewater Triangle sits within the southeastern portion of Massachusetts and includes a number of locations known for unexplained occurrences. the most prominent of which include the legendary Hockomock Swamp and the infamous Freetown Fall River State Forest. The triangle traditional borders are revealed by connecting the dots between the town of Abington to the north, the town of Freetown to the southeast, and the town of Rehoboth to the southwest. Jeff Belanger is one of the most visible paranormal researchers today. He has written over a dozen books, including Weird Massachusetts, and has written articles for the Boston Globe. Belanger is all too familiar with the many stories surrounding the Bridgewater Triangle.
Living in Massachusetts and being into the unusual, you hear about the Bridgewater Triangle. It's one of those places that come up again and again when people find out you're into this strange stuff. It's an amazing place. It's beautiful, but it's also legendary.
Paranormal researchers and enthusiasts claim that the Bridgewater Triangle hosts an unusually high volume of strange occurrences, unexplained mysteries, and sinister activities. From ghostly hauntings and cryptic animal sightings to UFO encounters and evidence of satanic ritual sacrifice, the Bridgewater Triangle serves as one of the world's most diverse hotspots for paranormal activity. Chris Pittman has been investigating odd occurrences in southeastern Massachusetts for a number of years. With an extensive background in the study of both UFOs and archaeology, Pittman is regarded as one of the foremost authorities on all aspects of the Bridgewater Triangle.
Around 1996, I first heard about the Bridgewater Triangle and started conducting investigations there, at first focusing just on the UFO sightings. Over time, I began to realize that all the paranormal phenomena that were being reported in the Bridgewater Triangle, the Bigfoot sightings, the cattle mutilations, even the hauntings, everything was all related and part of the same thing.
Paranormal researcher Chris Balzano has been investigating paranormal activity in the New England region for well over a decade.
When I first began investigating the paranormal, I was hoping to be strictly a Boston-based researcher because that's where I was living at the time. And yet, one of the first investigations I did was out in Rehoboth, which I had no idea was part of the context of the Bridgewater Triangle. What ended up happening was I had worked with Chris Pittman at a sub shop, and we had no idea that either of us were into this. And all of a sudden, when I discovered that he was kind of working in this area, him and I began to communicate back and forth, and I knew that this place had a name, and that it was not just the reports that I was getting, but it was part of kind of a bigger lore that was developing here in southeastern Massachusetts.
In recent years, Balzano released 2 informative books detailing accounts of paranormal activity within the Bridgewater Triangle. The publications include 2007's Dark Woods, Cults, Crime, and the Paranormal in the Freetown State Forest, and 2008's Ghosts of the Bridgewater Triangle. A root cause for alleged paranormal activity in the Bridgewater Triangle is widely debated. Some researchers and historians cite the mistreatment of the Native American population as the possible spark for negative energy in the region. 100 years before the American Revolution, present-day southeastern Massachusetts was known as Plymouth Colony. In the summer of 1675, the local Native American population rebelled after years of oppression at the hands of English settlers. Under the initial leadership of a Wampanoag chief named Metacomet, known to the English as King Philip, the uprising quickly became known as King Philip's War. Fighting began with a native attack on the settlement of Swansea. Soon the conflict escalated and quickly spread to other communities in Plymouth Colony. Taunton, Dartmouth, Middleborough, and Rehoboth were just some of the settlements that faced the fury of native attacks. By the fall of 1675, the colonies of Plymouth, Massachusetts Bay, and Rhode Island were all plunged into the depths of this devastating conflict. The brutal nature of the war was unprecedented in the region. On both sides of the conflict, innocent non-combative men, women, and children were slaughtered. Eventually, the tide of war turned in favor of colonial troops, and native resistance began to crumble. In August of 1676, King Philip himself was tracked down and killed in present-day Bristol, Rhode Island.
When King Philip was captured, he was drawn and quartered and beheaded, much as the tradition was with the English. His head was put on a pike, and it was actually kept there in front of Fort Plymouth for 20 years.
by war's end, an estimated 500 English settlers and 3,000 Native Americans had been killed. Worse yet, surviving non-Christianized natives were quickly rounded up and sold into slavery.
Unfortunately for King Philip, his child and wife had been taken away by the English. And as far as we can tell historically, both were sold into slavery.
Per capita, King Philip's War remains the bloodiest conflict in American history. 5% of New England's combined population was killed in the struggle. Today, various residents cite a Native American curse as the cause of strange occurrences in the Bridgewater Triangle region. Tim Weisberg is a journalist, author, and radio personality, perhaps best known as the host of WBSM's hit paranormal-themed radio show, Spooky South Coast. In 2010, he released Ghosts of the South Coast, a book chronicling hauntings in southeastern Massachusetts. Weisberg is keenly aware of the Bridgewater Triangle's theorized connection to King Philip's War.
A lot of people seem to think that because of King Philip's War, the Native Americans placed a curse on the Bridgewater Triangle region. I almost wonder if King Philip's War is not the cause of all of this paranormal activity, but just another byproduct of it. Maybe for some reason what happens here predated that skirmish and is something that is just inherent in the land.
At the epicenter of the Bridgewater Triangle is a 17,000-acre tract of densely wooded wetlands known as the Hockomock Swamp.
It's a massive wilderness area, and most of the most compelling and the most consistent stories come from the Hockomock Swamp area.
The swamp extends into several towns, including Bridgewater, Easton, Raynham, Taunton, West Bridgewater, and parts of Norton. The Hockomock serves as both a wildlife management area and as an important water source for the surrounding communities. In addition to its environmental importance, the swamp plays a significant role in Native American history. The word Hockomock originates from the Algonquin word meaning place where spirits dwell.
We know that there are at least 1,000 graves out there that are 8,000 plus years old. And we also know that it's been sacred to the Native Americans for at least that time. In fact, they remember a time when it was actually a glacier, which is when the swamp itself becomes the swamp. This was a place where they could hunt and fish and also be protected from other tribes.
After the outbreak of King Philip's War, the swamp was used as a hiding place for the native population. The dark and ominous wetlands served as the perfect staging ground for native raids against nearby European settlements.
If you know the swamp, you have a big tactical advantage over someone who doesn't.
Largely viewed as the beating heart of the Bridgewater Triangle, the Hockomock Swamp has seen more than its share of alleged strange occurrences.
You know, when you're talking about legends in the paranormal, it's got to be the right setting. You are probably never going to make a documentary about a haunted McDonald's. It's just the wrong setting. It could be the most haunted place on earth, but it's not the right context for people to understand and appreciate a ghostly legend. The Hockomock Swamp it's the right setting.
The best evidence that there's something very unusual happening is the consistent and constant reports from people who have been in the Hockomock Swamp and reported an eerie, unearthly feeling of being watched. It makes them very uncomfortable. It's something that can be startling even to experienced people in the wilderness, hunters, trappers, and outdoorsmen.
The Hockomock Swamp has long been the focus of cryptozoologists, or those who study the existence of cryptic animals. Ape-like bipeds, enormous birds, snakes the size of stovepipes, giant cats, and ravenous red-eyed dogs have all been reported, both within the remote swampland and in the swamp's surrounding communities. Renowned cryptozoologist Loren Coleman has been researching and investigating cryptozoological mysteries since 1960. One of the world's foremost leaders in the field, Coleman has written extensively about cryptic animal encounters from all corners of the globe.
In 1975, I moved from California to Cambridge, Massachusetts. I started picking up on this whole notion that there was an area in southeast Massachusetts that almost was a magnet of weird phenomena. And because of the three Bridgewaters, there was already a hint that there was a triangle in the area. And I started looking and plotting different sightings, different incidents on a map, and really noticed it was a triangle.
In 1983, Coleman published his most famous work, Mysterious America. In a chapter detailing his findings in southeastern Massachusetts, Coleman dubbed the region the Bridgewater Triangle. In 2003, Coleman opened the International Cryptozoology Museum. The attraction houses thousands of artifacts relating to cryptic animals, including plaster casts of alleged Bigfoot prints. Located at 11 Avon Street in Portland, Maine, the museum is open to the general public. Of all the creatures said to inhabit the Hockomock Swamp region, none are more often seen or encountered than Bigfoot.
In 1970, you had a coalition of local police and state police tracking down and following what they thought was a bear. But the more and more I talked to the individuals involved, it seemed like it was a very unusual bear, a bear that sometimes would go upright, sometimes run on all fours. It was a classic Bigfoot case. There was an officer that I interviewed who told me in no uncertain terms that a Bigfoot had come to the back of his cruiser and lifted it up. He was scared to death, and those kinds of reports kept coming in.
Former West Bridgewater resident Carlston Wood has witnessed multiple strange occurrences within the boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle. As a child living on the edge of the Hockomock Swamp, Wood will never forget the events of a winter's day in 1970.
We had gone out, a couple of the neighborhood boys and girls. We would go across into the swamp area where it was frozen, and we would explore into the swamp as far as we could go. We had gone in maybe a mile and a half, and somebody had started to scream. One of the neighborhood boys looked up and said, "There is a huge, hairy man." We all got a glimpse of it, and we all just ran as fast and as hard as we could through the slush until we got back onto the road, only to reconvene on the school bus next Monday and ask each other if we actually saw what we saw.
In addition to the Hockomock Swamp, Bigfoot has been reportedly spotted near two small ponds in Bridgewater, known as Claybanks 1 and Claybanks 2. Bridgewater resident Joseph DeAndrade claims to have seen the elusive creature in the forest surrounding Claybanks 2.
In the winter of '78, this guy Wayne and I, we agreed to go out and check out this wooded area because this other guy, he's half Indian. He's talked to me about Sasquatch. I told Wayne, I said, let's go over there, maybe find some footprints. When we reached the spot, we had our backs turned to the pond, and then suddenly, as we stood there together, something told me to turn around and look. And I said, and I want to make it clear I don't go around hearing voices all the time. So I said to myself, I said, why? And then the voice said, turn around and you will see. So I said, well, right, so I'll turn around and look. When I turned around and looked, I saw something that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. I saw what appeared to be the Sasquatch creature that I heard about. It had long dark brown hair all over its body, and I saw it from the waist up, but I didn't see the face. It was walking slowly down the hill over there. I went over to Wayne and I said, Wayne, will you please look? You got to see this, I'm not going to believe this, So I turned around again to look, and it was gone. I never saw it again.
After his alleged encounter with a giant ape, DeAndrade founded the Bridgewater Triangle Expedition Team, or BTET.
I started it in '85. It was me, Mike Foster, and then there was this other guy, Tony.
The BTET led several expeditions into the region armed with rifles and cameras, but never again saw Bigfoot. Eventually, after a series of unsuccessful expeditions and a dwindling number of active members, the BTET disbanded. DeAndrade has since founded the Paranormal Investigation Organization, also in Bridgewater, and has written extensively about his investigations. He has also been interviewed for many newspaper and magazine articles, and has been featured in local television news stories, including segments on Fox 25 and ABC 5 in Massachusetts.
Joseph DeAndre deserves more credit than anybody for publicizing the Hockomock Swamp. For many, many years, no one was studying the Bridgewater Triangle, and he alone was chronicling the reports, getting out there, investigating sightings firsthand, going on expeditions of his own. And I think that the legends and lore that have grown up around the Hockomock Swamp and around the Bridgewater Triangle would be very different today if it wasn't for Joseph DeAndre's work. Looking at his sighting objectively, from the distance that he was from what he saw, and from what he reported, we can't say exactly what it was that he saw, and certainly it's difficult to say without a shadow of a doubt that what he saw was something unusual, something that we can't explain. Having said that, I think it's an interesting sighting, and certainly it dovetails well with a lot of the other reported activity here throughout the years.
When I saw that creature, I believe it was meant to be, because something wanted me to see it. Therefore, something eventually wanted me to investigate this triangle area.
In addition to Joseph DeAndre, deceased West Bridgewater resident John Baker reported his own Bigfoot sighting while fur trapping in the Hockomock Swamp in the early 1980s. A Boston Herald article featured an interview with Baker concerning his encounter.
Something was following me, and I knew it was big. So I took the boat down a small creek to a dry hill, and it kept moving. I knew it wasn't a human because when it passed by me, I could smell it. It smelled like skunk, musty and dirty, like it lived in the dirt. To this day, I don't know what it was, but I know I saw it, and it was up there.
Gigantic raptors, sometimes known as thunderbirds,
Who would have thought we
reportedly
have
been
Bigfoot
spotted in
here?
the skies above the swamp and its surrounding communities. In 1971, Norton Police Sergeant Thomas Downey claimed to have seen a large bird with a 12-foot wingspan while traveling along Winter Street in nearby Mansfield, a town just west of the Bridgewater Triangle and the Hockomock Swamp.
Officer Downey had been coming along the road and he saw this creature, 6 feet tall or so, large wings, slowly just lifted right into the air. And this was an intriguing sighting because it overlapped with a lot of reports that we were hearing about Mothman, about Thunderbirds.
Ironically, Downey's sighting occurred in an area known as Bird Hill.
I was confused if the Bird Hill was named because of his sighting or that had always been called Bird Hill. Certainly Officer Downey being placed in the middle of having an encounter there just reinforced for me the strangeness of the Bridgewater Triangle.
In the years following his initial report, Downey refused multiple requests for interviews concerning his encounter. Enormous snakes, uncommon to the northeastern United States, have allegedly been spotted in the area.
As I was investigating the Bridgewater Triangle, I kept hearing that during the 1930s, during the Depression, whenever the CCC was working the Hockomock Swamp, that they were seeing snakes that were as large as stovepipes. These were huge snakes, and the workers would go into the woods and they would actually start running out because they would see these huge snakes. Logical phenomena, cryptid phenomena we hear all across the country, here and there, in special places like the Bridgewater Triangle.
According to cryptozoologist Lauren Coleman and local news outlets, a series of sightings involving what Coleman dubbed the Mansfield Mystery Cat occurred in towns surrounding the Hockomock Swamp region. In March of 1993, a large tan cat resembling a mountain lion was frequently reported in the towns of Easton and Mansfield. Presumed by some to be an escaped exotic pet, the origins of the Mansfield Mystery Cat remain unclear.
There were other reports that weren't so specific of people seeing both the yellow-colored cats and the black panthers in the area. Those interested me that sometimes people were seeing them at the same time.
In May of 1993, the headless carcass of an African serval was found near the Easton-Raynham town line. Despite the discovery, police were quick to dismiss the 30-pound spotted serval as the source of the alleged large cat sightings. Like its origin,
'cause I love you endlessly. Girl, I feel so damn right when you're here by my side. I will always be there for you. Oh girl, I need you, that's so true. Hope you feel the same way, 'cause I want you to stay.
Hey everybody, don't forget to tune in to there we go, Sunday mornings with Blaizeman. I'll catch you next Sunday about 10 o'clock. I don't know, we'll see, but always look out for Sunday mornings with Blaizeman right here on the FFN network. Peace, love, and check me out next Sunday, man, and we'll continue this Bridgewater Triangle thing. This shit is cool, man, I'm telling you. And if you're from the Fall River, Massachusetts area, Swansea, Taunton, especially Bridgewater, you know what I mean, you want to check this shit out. It's great. So I'll catch you all next week, man.